So plenty of action. Don't forget Deja Brew in the back straight there. Best coffee in town here tonight. Coffee cycling goes hand in hand, so keep him busy over there so he doesn't get cold. Sukilala for your foods as you come into the venue in the entrance foyer there. So plenty of great food tonight. Ava Wilson continues on doing a nice little turn at the moment as she swings up. Short, sharp turns are the way of the go tonight. The bar is open there, so plenty of drinking facilities, whether it's a refreshment, a cool drink, or it's a nice beverage, a beer or a nice wine. So Big Shed Brewing is one of the people up on board there. Liquor Company, Prohibition Liquor Company, and Alpha Box and Dice at the venue up there. So Paige Squire just a little bit off the pace at the moment. Ava Wilson needs to dig deep there to try and bridge that gap. As number 42 there, Nick Gray. They're starting to move nicely out the front there with 10 laps to go, half distance. It's William Brown. So William Brown on the move down that back straight there. Kaylin Tucker now swings up. A couple of riders just off the pace at the moment. Some of the young ladies, Madeline Wasserback, only fairly young into the sport. So we now have 5 riders with a bit of a break. Nick Gray needs to just bridge the gap at the moment. As we're heading down that round, coming in to 9 laps to go. Jamison Key hits the front running there at the moment. Nick Gray putting in a really big blinder down there for the last lap and a half. Starting to bring those the riders back together again. Leonie Vanderberg looks good sitting in that wheel there. Nick Gray says, look, I'm strong enough, I can bring it out. Leonie Vanderberg, give him a cheer to try and see if they can bridge that gap. Leonie Vanderberg really putting a big strong one now. Ava Wilson on the wheel. And the 46 rider of Ava Schmidtke. So that group is all back together again. The man that brought them back there is Nick Gray in the pink colours. And at number 40 there, Daniel Borden. So going down that back straight. 6 laps to go. So 5 laps to go. 1/4 of the race distance left. William Brown looks over the shoulder. I tell you what, I was watching William Brown on the weekend in the state road championship out at Maipolonga. He was absolutely on fire in his age group. Benook, 4 laps to go, business end of the bike race. Kaylin Tucker swings up. Ava Wilson swings up. Nick Gray, Leonie Vanderberg, William Brown. It's all about staying right up in the business end of the bike race. Coming in 3 to go. All starting to watch each other now. Who wants to be the first rider to break the tackle, so to speak? Will Mathwin just motors on around the outside. Kaylin Tucker sitting in second spot on the wheel there with 2 laps to go, 500 metres. They've swung up. Jamison Key on the bottom. Will Mathwin, Ava Schmidtke says, right, I want to try and hold my spot here. As does Ava Wilson coming around the outside. Kaylin Tucker moves into 3rd spot. Big move now from Will Mathwin. He's heading on nicely at 1 to go this stage. Will Mathwin round the outside. Key trying to fight through on the inside. This is going to be a head-to-head down the back straight. Jamison Key leading it strongly there. Will Mathwin, Kaylin Tucker. Benook Calatunga comes screaming through on the inside. Got the nice run. Jamison Key takes the win. Tucker, he runs 3rd there. Oh, good strong finish for the juniors. That's our up-and-coming stars. First race of the night. And a good strong win from Jamison Key, from Benook Calatunga, Kaylin Tucker, Will Mathwin. I'd like to welcome John Kelly there. He's been working hard today, running a little bit late tonight, but he's here, and you'll hear him on the mic. He loves his calling of the racing. Okay, Track League as it started. The next event will be the Women's Kieran. In the first heat, Caitlin Ward, Nicola McDonald, Emily Walker, Sophie Edwards, Amber Pate. And who can remember that in the recent Commonwealth Games, Caitlin Ward piloted the tandem with Tess Gallagher. Was the stoker on the back there and had a fantastic win, winning the time trial, also the sprint match race in the tandem. So great racing watching the tandems here in the Commonwealth Games. So she's on a bit of form. Sophie Edwards took out the state road championship on Saturday at Maipolonga with a strong, tight finish over Nicola McDonald from Lauren Perry, who is in the second heat. Of course, Amber Pate there, she's looking forward to getting back on the track there, and she's got a big year coming up, John, with a new signing in Green Edge, so Bike Exchange, I should say. So she's looking forward, having a bit of a chat to her before, and she's super excited about joining that team.
Well, it was pretty amazing, Graham, when we turn our minds back to the Santos Festival of Cycling, when we saw her wearing for the first time those Green Edge cycling colours, and it's great to hear news of her career progressing on. Women's Kieran Racing, Adelaide Track League, Adelaide Superdrome. It's a big night at the bikes, and great to see so many smiling and familiar faces out here this evening watching on. If you're getting your thirst on, of course, the bar's open this evening. Plenty of cold drinks on offer. And if you're starting to get a little bit peckish, well, there's plenty to eat here as well. The kiosk is inside tonight. There's no food trucks outside. It's all on the inside of the track. Food and drinks indoors at the Adelaide Superdrome. Getting ready now. Women's Kieran round one. Well, Comma says happy. The motorcycle is away. Drawing position one on the track is Emily Walker. Nicola McDonald just up on the right here. Sophie Edwards is in this bike race. Rider 33, of course, is Amber Pate in the Australian colours. And Caitlin Ward, fresh back from the Commonwealth Games. Riding here for your entertainment at Adelaide Track League, brought to you by Oz Cycling South Australia. Share the live stream with your friends and family out there. If they couldn't be here tonight, bring them to the bikes by sharing the live stream. Emily Walker drew position 1 on the bike. Nicola McDonald, Sophie Edwards, Amber Pate. And the big hitter, Caitlin Ward, has got track position as the motorcycle winds itself up to the regulation speed. Cold drinks, hot food, cool bikes here for your entertainment. Friday night at the Bikes, Graham. It's going to be fantastic here. This is a sensational lineup in the women's Kieran round 1. The bike's about to come in, and we're about to get the business of racing underway, and that is Emily Walker leading so far.
Yeah, looking around the outside, Amber Pates is right. I'm going to go early. She's got some endurance behind her. She moves around the outside. Wasn't a clear, nice, strong move. But now we've got Sophie Edwards there. She was the winner of the State Road Championship last weekend on the Saturday at Maipalonga. Now Caitlin Ward, we saw her when she was piloting Tess Gallagher in the Commonwealth Games Tandem Championships. 1 to go. This is where the speed comes about. Caitlin Ward straight up around the southern bend. Got her on the hip there, down back straight. Got some really strong speed going. And Nicola McDonald coming strongly home as well. But this race looking good there. Edwards sits up, said I'll take second. Nicola McDonald third. Amber Pate made the initial jump there, finishes 4th. And then we've got Emily Walker making up the final round. Next race in the Kieran is Lauren Perry, Ella Sibley, Ali Anderson, Elizabeth Green, and Marilla Willis-Hell are the next on the Kieran. The Kieran, of course, starts off at a certain speed, builds it up to the required speed, swings off at 3 to go. And then it's go for broke. They draw for positions. Traditional drawing for positions there to see who's going to draw the bike. And it's a requirement when the bike comes through, the leading rider on the bottom there must go straight to the bike as quick as possible. And you hold those positions for that first lap. So if you draw sixth place, you're sitting back in 6th. Doesn't mean you need to stay there. You can actually work up around the outside, but you cannot pass the bike until it swings off at 3 to go. So good mix. One more holder, I believe. As I said, don't forget all of the eateries here tonight. We've got Suki Lala out from the foyer there at the front entrance there. Some beautiful food. We had some of their food tonight. Their Deja Brew coffee in the back straight. Keep him pumping coffee out there. We've got the Big Shed Brewing and Prohibition Liquor Company there at the canteen. You can go buy a wine, a beer, or a soft drink. Plenty to have tonight, John.
Well, I'm going to go for the soft drink tonight, Graham. I've got some crispy chips right here and some great food by Suki Lala. But we're about to get into Heat 2 here at the Adelaide Superdome. Women's Kieran Racing, and what a lineup it is too. Drawing position 1 on the bottom of the boards there, Lauren Perry in the Academy colours, the green and gold if you were. Just sitting up on her hip there, we can see in the Pecs outfit, Marilla Willis-Hell. She's riding on the shoulder there. 2 punters in the South Australian Sports Institute colours there in Ella Sibley and Ali Anderson. What a fantastic lineup it is. And Elizabeth Green on the top of the fence in those bright orange colours. Well, she definitely looks fast tonight. Well, the start has happened. The motorcycle is on the track, setting the pace. Perry's drawn the position, Graham. She leads the way on the bike. She has to take that front position now. Marilla Willis-Hell, she takes up position number 2. Then we've got Sibley. Ali Anderson's there with the white helmet on. And all the way at the back, and she's got a lot of ground to cover. That's Elizabeth Green. But she's looking strong and fit at the moment. She really seems to be building through her career. And she's an exciting bike racer to watch, Graham.
Yeah, she loves competing. Just speaking to her again on the weekend. Probably didn't have the greatest road race on the Saturday. She cramped at the end there, but her time trial prowess is amazing on that race. But we nickname Lauren Perry the Smiling Assassin from Tasmania.
Assassin, she sure is. Have a look at her now.
Have a look. She's just watching nicely. She just backed off a little bit from the bike there, looking over the shoulder, watching nicely. Marilla Willis held there. She's a real improver in the bike race at the moment. And, of course, then we've got Ella Sibley. The bike will swing off at 3 to go, as it does now.
Well, Perry looks good, Graham. She's taken the front position, really taking the bike race by control. Morella Willis-Hell must be thinking right now, I've probably got the best wheel in the bike race, but maybe not. I don't know. Ellie Anderson might be thinking that because Ella Sibley's sitting in P3 at the moment. All the way at the back, she's hunting this one down to Elizabeth Green. She has to do something from here to improve on her position because we're running out of bike race to go. Perry now controls the front, looking very strong, but here come the mad dash from the South Australian Sports Institute colours. Around the outside she goes. Ella Sibley takes control of the bike race and leaves Ellie Anderson in her wake. Perry thinks, what was that lightning bolt that just shook past me? But here she comes all the way out the front straight. Too cool for school. She's going to take this one. Ella Sibley. Big round of applause. Perry, Morella Willis-Hell. What a fantastic round in Heat 2.
Yeah, good, strong, tight racing there. Lauren Perry let it out there, but Ella Sibley just used the rider in front to hit it hard down that back straight. Finish off nicely. The women's Kieran race 2. Okay, coming up now is the men's Kieran round 1. We've got Ashton Freeth, Joshua Duffy, Connor Doyle, Oliver Bledden, James Brister, and the recently crowned World Junior Team Sprint Champion, Maxwell Lieberneck. Same deal, 6 laps. The bike will come through. If you're leading the bike race, if you draw number 1 position, you must go straight to the bike. And then you follow one at a time the way you drew your numbers at the start. And we're just getting a wheel change here at the moment, so...
I tell you what, Graham, I'm watching on in the pits here. The riders are coming out onto the track there. Ollie Bledden just quickly changes into a front wheel. The mechanics are good here. That was a quick pit change. That reminded me a lot.
I'll tell you what,
the V8 supercars.
Ellie Anderson's showing a lot of love there.
She's got the spanners, that's for sure. She's
absolutely magnificent.
Quite the pit crew. All right,
Oliver Bledden draws number 1 position, so he will be the rider that has to go to the bike when it comes through. Then we've got Matthew Lieberneck, Ashton Freeth, Aston Martin, Aston Villa.
He's just fast.
He's called Aston. He's a very quick man. It was a privilege to watch him here doing that hour record he did here early in the year. It was quite amazing to watch him.
That was a good training session.
It was a great night that night.
Superdrome.
And of course we've got James Brister right up the top there. He is a powerhouse, James Brister. Connor Doyle and Joshua Duffy. Good field to Heat 1 of the Kieran.
Oh, those Argon 18 machines look pretty slick on the start line, Graham. A couple of these young blokes have had some good races away just recently. I think, wasn't Maxwell Liebernecht on the medal-winning team over away at Junior Worlds in the team sprint?
Yeah, team sprint. I'll tell you what. This is Team Argon actually out there. Have a look at them all.
Oh, it sure is. Ollie Bledden's supposed to be leading.
Needs to go straight to the bike. It was a little bit slow off the mark there. Matthew Liebernecht straight onto the wheel. And then we've got Ashton Freeth riding shotgun at the back. There is young Brister. James Brister there, but he is so quick when he gets going. He will show one hell of a top speed. They can't pass the bike in that first 3 laps. You can come up on side of the wheel if you want to, but you're riding a further distance in the bike race as the bike starts to build up its pace. At 4 to go at the moment, they will swing off this time next lap. Oliver Bledden. Tell what, one of our strong riders there, one of our men that we like to come over from Western Australia.
We're claiming him as a South Australian
Yeah,
now.
we claimed him.
Bledden. All the Western Australians watching on the live stream will say, no, fellas, don't forget where he comes from, Western Australia. They've got some good bike races there. Ollie Bledden, though, he's quick to lift out of the seat and senses an opportunity to attack whilst the rider's there. Liebernick now sitting up in position number 2. The Butterfields colours are moving forward there in Conador, but I tell you what, Graham, they're going to have to move now. What can James Brister do from all the way back here?
I know Brister's got some speed. Joshua Duffy there goes around the outside. Brister on the wheel. Oliver Bledden really digging deep there. Maxwell Liebernick there in second wheel. Joshua Duffy coming at him strong. They've got the big gear rolling around the northern bend there. And we see James Brister on the outside. We know he's got plenty of speed. He will kick around the outside, coming up the finishing straight. James Brister from the back. Josh Duffy and Oliver Bledden led it all the way. I tell you what, he took off 3 to go. James Brister had to really pull one out there to get the win. But Joshua Duffy led him out nicely. We didn't lead him out on purpose, but he took the wheel, said, right, you're going for it, I'll take the wheel, and I'll kick home in that last 50 metres, which he did so strongly. Okay, next heat. James Moriarty, Zach Marriage, Connor Lay, Graham Frisley, Thomas Cornish, and Matt Glazer. Was talking to Matt Glazer a little bit earlier on. I said he had to come through customs to make sure he didn't bring any wood in to Australia. We saw him have a little bit of a bit of dust over in the Commonwealth Games, but he's all good and ready to go now. Another great field here. Matt Glazer, Thomas Cornish, Graham Frisley, Connolly, Zach Marriage, James Moriarty. I tell you what, that's a pretty talented lot of heat too, John.
That's an impressive lineup there. That could be a standing lineup in any Olympic Games as it was. Speaking of the Olympic Games, I think they've made the announcements now for the Australian cycling team moving forward for the 2024 Olympic Games. You can find all that information out by following the Australian track cycling team on Oz Cycling Australia. Moving into Heat 2 now in the men's Kieran round. A big night at the bikes at the Adelaide Superdome, and Graham, the spectators are in for a real treat here. This is an impressive lineup of riders you've already mentioned, but Matt Glazer, Tom Cornish in this same race. These guys would have to be the masters of speed, I would say, when it comes down to the pointy end of a Kieran racing. But Connolly, what an amazing performer, but don't doubt the powerhouse James Moriarty is in the mix as well. He's in the Academy colours in this one, and young Zach Marriage in the South Australian state colours in amongst the action.
He might look the little one in that big group there, but I tell you what, he's got some really amazing power. He just doesn't know when to give up. Zach Marriage is fantastic, and we've seen his improvement over the years.
We've watched him grow up at the track, haven't we, Graham?
Absolutely.
The big hitters are on the front right now in Glazer and Cornish. Glazer's got that unique riding position, hasn't he, Graham? He gets really down low on the bike, just tucks in. It's like he's getting focused. It's part of his settling in process. Cornish there in position number 2. The Academy colours with the beard. I mean, there's beards, moustaches. It's almost like it used to be at one time, the aerodynamics with no hair, clean shaven, shaven legs, shaven arms, but the beards are back in town.
The beards are back in town. Connolly there just moves up onto the hip there. You don't have to follow the leader there. The leading rider must stay behind the bike there. You can move up alongside. You can't push them out. The rules and regs in the Kieran have softened a little bit over the years. But as you can see there, the big fella on the front, Matt Glazer, just backing off a little bit, watching over the shoulder. The bike swings off this time. So Matt Glazer leads the way there from number 20 there, Thomas Cornish. They finished 1 and 2 in the Commonwealth Games in the Kieran.
Well, they
big
promised a
move
big
around the
night at the
outside
bikes.
now, coming
Zach
into 2 to go.
Marriage.
Zach Marriage, John.
Well, Zach Marriage improved his position around the outside, right up onto Glades' hip, but he's going backwards now. Connor Lee decides, well, look, I'll start this bike race off on a high note. Gives Glades a wheel to aim for. Tom Cornish now in P3. In the 4th position, looks like Graham Frisley at the moment's moved up to position number 3 almost as the bell rings. Glades now dig deep. Tom Cornish is there, and Frisley is on a charge at the moment. Have a look at these guys move, but as Glades are too quick, Cornish and Frisley, they're gone, Graham.
I tell you what, there you can watch Matt Glazer. There is a very good tactician. He wasn't too phased when the big move come around the outside. It's all about getting into the top few riders to make your way through into the Kieran final. So the next rider we've got Angus Gus Miller, Godfrey Slattery, Luke White, Jackson Williams, Josh Harrison, and Charlie Abel. Bit of a discussion on the back here, what gear you're riding, sort of thing. So all good. Okay, some beautiful background music there. Of course, Deja Brew in the back straight there, Jamaican, the best coffee in town. 125 metre walk, quick brisk walk around there to grab the best coffee. Okay, plenty of cool drinks, soft drinks, a nice wines and Big Shed brews if you want a beer in the canteen. Of course, Suki Lala is also out there as well, just as you enter into the foyer. So getting some great meals. This is your 3rd event, come on the way now. Heat 3, men's Kieran race. And we got the man on the bottom there, Luke White.
We haven't seen Luke out on the bike for a little while there. I know he's been doing a lot of bike riding, but I tell you, what would they call this? Heat 3? This would be like the A team, wouldn't it, here?
Yeah,
in Heat 3. The mixed bunch, I guess. Would we call them the bad guys? Charlie Abel, Josh Harrison. I mean, there's a blast from the past, and what an amazing bike racer over the 7-day carnivals over in Europe. Jackson Williams, now he's another one of the up-and-coming young fast men, isn't he, Graham? White from Mount Gambier, Godfrey Slattery's out there, and Gus Miller. We call him the Diesel sometimes. Both the father and son like to get out on the bike and do a little bit of racing, don't they?
Yeah, loves to. He just loves to race. Angus Miller loves to race. Oh, Josh Harrison there getting into the music there. So White has to jump to the bike. Godfrey Slattery there in the blue colours will be riding shotgun at the back. He's a very, very quick finisher when it comes to finishing in the bike race. Probably not his style of event, the Kieran, but on the front we've got Luke White from the Mount Gambier Cycling Club. Big Angus Miller sitting there, just cruising along nicely, the big turbo. And Josh Harrison, who does such a fantastic job with the training groups down here. And then we've got the young man, Charlie Abel, just looking over the shoulder. He's sitting in 4th wheel at the moment. As we've got also Jackson Williams. And then we got in the blue colours, in the blue ring.
In the blue corner.
In the blue corner there is Godfrey Slattery.
Hey Graham, what's Angus doing? Like, we've got the motorbike up the track just a little bit there. We've got our lead man, Angus Billy's just leaving a little bit of racing room, would you call that? Hello, who's sneaking up and around from the back? Would that be Godfrey Slattery now? Sees a chance. Gus Miller just backed off the bunch a little bit. Slattery repositions himself now, but he's eluded the attention of some of the young sprinters, some of the young fast men. Is Charlie able to come around for the victory, Graham?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, have a look at Josh Harrison. Says squeezes right around the outside. They'll get one to go next time. Says, right, I want to be in the mud. You can watch Godfrey Slattery there. He didn't panic too much there. He's sitting in second wheel there. He's going to try and get himself out, give himself nice clear room. Slattery holding a nice position at the moment. Looks very good at this stage. Josh Harrison down the back straight. Godfrey Slattery. Then the big fella coming there. Luke White there trying to come around the outside. Slattery hasn't got the legs at the moment, but Josh Harrison will take it out. Big strong finish there from Luke White.
Well, that was a big race, Graham, the A-team. If there's any trouble around, call in the A-team. These guys definitely brought the entertainment as well. Action Jackson, he was part of it. In Jackson Williams, he played a good part in this bike race as well. That was Heat 3.
So now we have, this is the one where you count down to 10. Oh, what's the junior eliminator? Hey? Oh, starting on the blue pen. Hello, Mr. Declan.
No, we're still sanding them.
Still sanding it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's feeling better. Been training a bit now. Yeah. Stay down and hold some people, right?
Yeah, why not? Now, John, the junior eliminator. This is where the judges on the, well, first of all, the normal elimination race is the rider out every second lap. They have 10 laps to start with. It's like they count down from 10 down to 1. They'll and the rider that crosses the line will get the preem sprint, so as to speak, and then from that on, there'll be one rider eliminated every second lap. What that means is those riders have got to have their wits about them. You've got to make sure that you've always got someone covered. If you're the back wheeler's the last to go across the line, unfortunately, we will call that rider out. We're not going to do too much banter in between, so it's at every second lap there. Once we'll have a bit of a chat during the first 10 laps, and then once the elimination starts, we'll only be calling the riders who have been eliminated. A good field. Daniel Borden, Nick Gray, Benook Kalachunga, Ava Schmidtke, Regan Stanton, Leonie Vanderberg, Ava Wilson, William Brown, Jamison Key, William Mathwin, Paige Squire, Kaylin Tucker, Madeline Wasserback. First Madeline race at Whyalla Track Carnival last year. And talking about Track Carnival, Whyalla is the 100th year of the Whyalla Track Carnival coming up March next year, so put that in your diary.
Well, that's a big event, Graham, and I see that Emma Marden has already put together a Facebook event on that one, so you can like and give them an indication perhaps that you're going along, or at least that you're interested in the event. The 100th year of the Whyalla Cycling Club to be celebrated at their annual Track Carnival.
Yeah, we're going to promote that tonight. I mean,
Absolutely.
It's a long way away, March. It's still 6 months away or so, but it's a tremendous club, the Whyalla Track Cycling Club, and for those all track riders need to support that event in March. We're going to be spruiking along over the next 6 months. They've got 10 laps of tempo riding, free gratis, nothing happening in the first 10 laps.
Warm-up? Would you call
sort
it
of a warm-up? And the beauty about this is that you don't want to go straight into elimination, because, I mean, if you're the first rider who gets eliminated, you've done 2 laps. That's not very good, is it?
It doesn't sound very exciting. I like this idea. It sounds more civilised. I tell you what, Graham, there are a few young riders out there that have been named in the state team. Now, coming up next, of course, they're going to the Gong, aren't they? The Junior Road Nationals is going to be held in Wollongong, and so are the Masters, and that'll be just ahead of the Australian National Road Championships. So look out for these young guys in the teams, or should I say the World Championships. It's the Australian Championships for the juniors, but the World Championships. It's going to be pretty exciting. 3 weeks of action, I reckon it will be in Wollongong all up.
Yeah, as long as the weather holds out, will be nice. But remembering we've got 10 laps to start with, so just riding into it, just feeling the legs, getting the cobwebs out of the legs, although they've already had one race already. So Nick Gray, the big fella on the front, the pink jersey. Regan Stanton sitting in second spot. Number 51 there, Madeline Rasselbach. That's it. I first saw her race at Wyalla this just gone this year earlier on. Keen young cyclist. Hadn't been in it for that long. But this is our future of our track stars in South Australia. Benook Kalatunga just building along his performances over the years. Jamison Key swings up, Kaylin Tucker, Will Mathwin, William Brown. Exceptional couple of days on the weekend at My Palonga in the State Road Championships and the State Individual Time Trial Championships, as did Ava Wilson performed so nicely on that weekend as well. So Regan Stanton swings up, and of course when they get down after they've done their 10 laps, we'll go over there, and John, I think you get the privilege. It's not really a privilege of calling the last rider.
It's a bit mean, isn't it, calling the last rider out?
Yeah, no, we'll start calling you the Grim Reaper.
Oh my.
And next two Kierans will be posted up on the board there. So starting to get down to the business end. And this is where Rachel, the chief judge there, the pressure's on. Not really. She's got a keen eye.
Well, have a look at what's happening out there in the bike race, Graham. Now, all of a sudden, the tempo's almost over, and the riders are starting to think about where they want to be or where they need to position themselves in order not to be eliminated. Do you ride from the front? Do you ride from position number 2? Well, I think you've got to protect your wheel and just sit above. Young Jared Drisners was an awesome bike racer to watch racing elimination events when he was a junior, and look where he is now.
Yeah, he's just actually joined the pro team. Unfortunately, he got caught out with COVID in the Volta, your Spaniard. So the bell goes. The next rider around will take the chocolates for the first win. We've got Kaylin Tucker, moves around that top bend. Key coming up strongly, just rolls him on the line, will take the preem sprint. So now, this is where it gets tough. It's the elimination coming up now. The bell will go next time. William Brown continues on. We're only going to be calling out the riders once they've been eliminated. So the rider off the back, John, is...
well, it's young Paige Squire,
Paige Squire.
She's just off the pace just a little bit, but needs our encouragement nonetheless. She's a plucky, young, talented rider.
The riders here. So no, keep going, Madeline. So the rider that was eliminated this time is Paige Squire.
Well, that's a nice round of applause. Paige Squire, 47, has been eliminated. Well, here we go. It's elimination time. Around and round the riders go. Last rider will be eliminated.
50.
Rider 50, rider number 50, rider 50. Leonie Vandenberg has been eliminated. Rider number 50 has been eliminated. Well done, Leonie Vandenberg. But you know what? It's a little bit of a short bike race for her. She did some good warm-up laps. Hopefully we'll see some more excitement with Leonie. I'm sure we will a little bit later in the bike racing. Last rider across the line after the bell lap. Rider 51, rider 51. Rider 51 has been eliminated. And that's young Madeline Wasserback. Let's give Madeline a round of applause. Good work, Madeline. If Anna Mears was here racing in this event, she'd aim to get eliminated first, I would reckon. So she'd save her legs for, I don't know. It's the shortest way around the track is what Anna Mears used to always say, isn't it? 46, rider 46. Ava Schmidtke, rider 46. I love the crowd support for all of the riders out here. And it's great to hear Ava Schmidtke getting a round of applause from the spectators as well. Rider 48, rider number 48, Regan Stanton from the Whaler Cycling Club has been eliminated. Regan Stanton, rider 48. Rider number 42, Nick Gray, has been eliminated. Rider 42. Rider 40, rider 40, rider 40 has been eliminated. Rider 40. Well, good job by Daniel Borden, but he's been eliminated for the bike race. Rider 52, Ava Wilson, rider 52. Let's hear it for Ava Wilson. Good round of applause. I think where she got eliminated on, I heard that she is the first woman across the line. I don't know. Well, getting down to the sticky end now, aren't we? Rider 43. So rider 43, rider number 43 has been eliminated. Rider 43. Rider 45 has been eliminated. Rider 45. Rider 44 has been eliminated. Good work, Minuk Kulatunga, to make it through into that top three. But he has been eliminated. Well, it's down to the last two riders on the track, and it looks almost like a match sprint, doesn't it, Graham? William Brown looking good at the moment. Glances over the shoulder. Kalen Tucker, he's ready for a match sprint to the end. The two boys look at each other. Brown decides to start it down the back straight. Now Brown accelerates. Tucker has a look around the outside. Brown getting all the crowd support at the moment. Tucker up on the hip now, looking to take charge down the front straight. Tucker for the line. William Brown in second. Manuk Kulatunga finished that one in third place. And a spectacular round of applause from the spectators here tonight, Graham. Hot food, cold drinks, and plenty of track action to come. Adelaide Track League at the Adelaide Superdome.
Yeah, I don't think you've got juniors on now. Yeah.
It's just brilliant.
You got one copy or two? Just over
This
we
is
can
the
work on that.
Swap around. So we can get that one.
Get in it too. Heat it up. So this is the men on, the women on four.
Women on first. Now this should be. They should all be.
Okay, women's Kieran round two. Caitlin Ward, Nicola McDonald, Sophie Edwards, Ella Sibley, Lauren Perry, Marilla Willis-Hell about to get up on the track. And then women's round two in the second heat is Amber Pate, Emily Walker, Ali Anderson, Elizabeth Green. So the holders are making themselves ready. So don't forget, in the back straight, Deja Brew coffee. Oh, he makes the best coffee in town. If you like a straight black, a flat white, cappuccino, or even a cup of cocoa, chocolate, whatever, he'll make it. So Deja Brew, of course, we can pick up the drinks in the canteen. Big Shed Brewing, Prohibition Liquor Company, Alpha Box and Dice, and Suki Lala is out the front there cooking up a storm with some great food. We had something earlier on. And it's 125 metres. That's not that far. You have to get up, walk over to the back straight. So you can actually...
It's good for the step count, isn't it?
Give us a hoil and I'll order it from here, and by the time you get there, it'll be ready for you. So 125 metres.
I'm not sure what you've just dubbed yourself in for. Text your coffee orders through to Graham Zucker.
Text me the coffee and
Pick 'em
I'll
up.
order it. But yeah, Deja Brew in the back straight. Been a regular part of the track league here. So again, a pretty good field, John.
Well, it's a brilliant field of young bike riders. I can see colours like Marilla Willis-Hell out there, and I reckon she's going to give him hell.
Oh, she should do.
I think she should.
She's got a lot of oomph about her. Marilla.
She's in a PEX uniform, isn't she? Physical Edge Training Squad.
It's
Ella
Kieran
Sibley.
Oates' training squad there. She really hits it hard, works them hard. Sophie Edwards is going to lead it out on the bike.
And she's got the smiling assassin on her shoulder.
Oh,
Lauren
yeah.
Perry's there.
There's Lauren
Nicola
Perry.
McDonald is sitting up there in position number 3. Nicola's had a sensational season again, racing way over there in the USA Crit Series. Great to see her back in Adelaide in time for upcoming events like the Super Series, brought to you by Oz Cycling South Australia, the premier road team series here in the state.
Yeah, Sophie Edwards is there having a bit of trouble staying on the bike, but she'll get going shortly when the bike comes through. She needs to go to the bike. That is part of the rules. They draw for positions. The rider on the bottom there must go to the bike as quick as possible. The others follow the leader.
Well, the starter's happy, Graham. And the whistle blows and away we go. Sophie Edwards, of course, she drew position number 1, so she has to chase out after the motorcycle. Perry in P2, Nicola McDonald, then Marilla Willis-Hell, Ella Sibley's there, And Caitlin Ward is going to hunt this bike race from the back of the pack. She's one of our favourite riders, isn't she, Graham? She's just returned from her piloting duties at the Commonwealth Games. And she's come out here to turn a few laps for our entertainment here at the Adelaide Superdome. Edwards on the front.
Yeah, the Kieran there has changed a little bit over the years. It used to be 8 laps when the bike would swing off at 2.5 laps to go. It now builds up over the 6 laps, which means that it comes from the up to the required speed where the bike swings off. So it's a very, very sharp build up. It normally used to be 5.5 laps, now it's 3. So the riders at the back there have to really be on their mettle to make sure that they can see what's going on. Caitlin Ward can see everything that's going on in front of her. Lauren Perry, you can see, very cagey rider, giving herself plenty of room. Nicola McDonald, straight up around the outside as the bike swings off. She wants to lead it out. Lauren Perry moves into second spot. Caitlin Ward biding her time. She knows that Ella Sibley won that first heat. Very strong indeed. So Ella Sibley, when she fires, but I tell you what, Caitlin Ward's caught her on the hip, round the outside. They'll be coming into one to go shortly. It's Nicola McDonald on the front. Sophie Edwards sitting in second spot there. Marilla Willis-Hare, what a great ride on the inside there. Lauren Perry, Caitlin Ward not able to go the distance there. Lauren Perry now round that outside. Here comes Ella Sibley down around that back straight there. It is Sophie Edwards leads it away there. Ella Sibley hits her on the north bend. Not actually literally, but she hits it nice and hard on that northern bend. Takes the win. Sophie Edwards second there. Lauren Perry, Marilla Willis-Hare, Nicola McDonald. Caitlin got caught out at the back there. It's always a hard one to come from the back there to try and get up to the front, John.
Well, I tell you what, Nicola McDonald, certainly impressive though. She shot to the front, really unleashed some firepower, stirred up the bike race. Why wouldn't you as well? I mean, when you're in a bike race against such quality riders, you've got to try something a little bit different, and that she did. Heat 2 coming up next. Well, the riders are receiving their pre-race instructions by Commissaire Susan Mitchell, aka Smiley Com is her handle. She signifies to the motorbike, we're good to go. In the orange colours at the bottom of the track, it's Elizabeth Green. She's drawn position number 1. Emily Walker glances over the shoulder and says, what are you doing back there, Elizabeth Green? You're supposed to be up here on the front where the motorbike is. Emily Walker, P2. Ali Anderson takes up her position in position 3. And Amber Pate is in the house. Yep. And you mentioned before, Graham, she's going to be wearing a new set of colours soon.
Yeah, so just talking to her early on, and she's looking, she's excited by the 12 months coming up there now that she's got a contract with a bike exchange.
Bike exchange.
So the women's team, and she's very, very compassionate that she's shown passionate about riding in that team with the team of young ladies that are riding in that team. So she's really looking forward to this road season coming up. Elizabeth Green on the front. I tell you what, put a bike race on. Elizabeth Green will always be there. Emily Walker, Ali Anderson, and Amber Pate making up the group here in race 2. Coming up, the bike will swing off this time.
Well, green in the orange, and orange leads the way. The bike pulls off, and now it's all about track positioning, but the real business of bike racing in the Kieran isn't until the bell goes and they fight out those last few metres of real estate for the finishing line. Green holding steadfast on the front at the moment. Emily Walker poised to pounce. Anderson looks over her shoulder and says, look out, here comes Amber Pate now. Pate starts to accelerate. She wants to stamp her foot on the front end of this bike race and assume command. Green will slip back into position 2, maybe 3. Anderson has to dig deep already to keep up with the amazing speed of Pate. Into the bell lap they go. Pate leads the way ahead of Ali Anderson now. The best of the rest will follow through with Emily Walker now fighting it out for position 3rd and 4th with Green. Up the track just a little bit further. Can Pate hold on? Can the young gun from Alice Springs, Ali Anderson, come over at the finishing line? But Pate will be too good. Oh, she gives a victory salute as well. A salute to the spectators, I'd say. Some great racing. A small but high quality field there, Graham.
Yeah, very quality bike racing here. The Adelaide Track League tonight. Plenty of action here with Kieran's, eliminators, scratch race, junior chase race, the men's sprint competition as well. And we're finishing off the event with the elite men's scratch race. And just prior to that, the women's scratch race. So plenty of action, mix of endurance, eliminations and scratch races. The next heat coming up there again, John. Pretty talented sort of field in the men's elite round 2 of the Kieran. Okay, James Brister, Joshua Duffy, Oliver Bledden, Matt Glaitzer, Thomas Cornish and Graham Frisley. I tell you what, that's half a dozen pretty decent sort of riders there, John.
Bring back the beard with Frisley. He's got the whiskers on tonight too, and it's not slowing him down at all. He's in the fast bunch, and he's with the top heat too. Heat 1 coming out onto the track.
Yeah, you normally see Graham Frisley come to the fruition when it's in the endurance events, but he will mix it with them. We got some bit of horsepower on this in this event. And the bike will come through shortly. Tom Cornish. I'll tell you what, he held his nerve there in the Commonwealth Games, the kilo. He rode a tremendous time, and it was only his teammate, Matt Glater, that pipped him on the line. But what a great effort there. So the bike comes around now.
And away we go here, Heat 1. It's men's Kieran round 2. And let's get ready for some action here. All the fast men are represented up the front. Tom Cornish drew position number 1. He'll lead the field up to the bike. Matt Glaitzer. In the informed TMX mate colours, it's Joshua Duffy sitting in position number 3. Rider number 7 is sitting on 4th wheel in Graham Frisley in the Academy colours. And it's great to see the state colours of South Australia worn by Ollie Bledden there. That's probably, would you say Kieran would be Ollie's favourite event? I would say it'd be more like add about another 50 laps or so and put him in a points race.
Yeah, that would be Oliver Bledden's type.
I reckon that would be his race,
event,
wouldn't
but,
it?
Very surprising. If you stood next to Matthew Glaitzer, he's a giant of a man.
He sure is.
But he sits so low in the bike, doesn't he?
I reckon he's probably just as low as some of the junior riders out there. He could tuck in and sit behind them. Here we go, a little bit of movement. Brister is wearing the Academy colours. He's a fast man. He's improving his position, and he's already eluded the rest of the field. Around the outside he comes now. There goes Ollie Bledden. Now, what sort of a tactic is that? It's a good one, Graham.
Yeah, well, he loves to put the hurt on, Oliver Bledden there. We know what sort of a talented rider he is. He looks over the shoulder. I mean, he can go for 3 laps. I mean, I've seen him in some of the endurance races. He absolutely hits the front running. Now, looking over the shoulder there, we can see Cornish there. Now we've got big Matt Glazer there. He's starting to throw the hammer down, Matt Glazer. Have a look at the power of Matt Glazer on that southern bend there. Cornish trying to squeeze out. Joshua Duffy there as well. Then we've got Graham Frisley trying to come around the outside, but have a look at the speed of this man. He punches the air, and so did I in retaliation there, and that's a great effort there. Matt Glazer showing what the speed is all about.
Well, that's what we came to see tonight. Matt Glazer, let's hear another round of applause for Matt and his way past. He salutes the spectators. Some great racing. You see the speed James Brister brought to that bike race as well. Sensational. Coming up next, more of the same in Heat 2.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, he hit the front running young James Brister to get the pace up and running. And then when you got Matt Glazer sitting in the bunch in the group there, and when he hits it hard, he hits it hard. In the Commonwealth Games there, he rode under the minute. That's not bad, averaging over 60k an hour from a standing start. So just easing down to the back there. Now look at the next field, John. I mean, that's another pretty talented field here coming up next.
Well, Graham, with the riders in this lineup, with names like James Moriarty, we can start to see a little bit of speed, but also fresh off the back of the Junior World Championships, and we see the name of Maxwell Liebenicht in this field as well. Our old favourite, Zach Marriage, he's in this lineup too. This is going to be a sensational Heat 2 of round 2 of Men's Kieran.
You'll see the numbers up on the board. Maxwell Liebenicht wears number 10. Aston Freeth, number 6. Connor Doyle, Connor Leo, James Moriarty. You'd normally see him really going hard in the endurance events. Zach Marriage, he can mix it with them there. Probably hasn't got the horsepower of some of them, but I tell you what, he's fairly quick. We've seen him grow up, young junior, under 15. All the way through. So this is your next heat.
Look at all the South Australian colours up there on the row, up the top of the fence there.
I reckon they
Young
could probably
smiling
do
faces.
Yeah, they could
Zach Marriage, Max Lee.
maybe they could do a team sprint.
Aston Freeth they could do, and this one here, but it's all about the Kieran now. Leading out, of course, at the bottom of the track, and those absolutely stunning Australian colours, of course, is Connor Leo. The green, the gold, the blue. He's on his way up in his career as a bike racer, and he's on display for us here at the Adelaide Superdome. The starter's happy. Susan Mitchell, commissaire. All the handlers come in off the track. Now it's time to get down to the business of settling into the action. Connor Leo drew position number 1. In the Butterfields team colours, Graham, it's Connor Doyle, and we often refer to the team colours, of course, as we're coming into the summer of cycling here with the team series that's about to happen. Also, there's the Australian National Road Series that has been underway, and that's where we see the Butterfields colours usually somewhere near the front.
Yeah, of course, looking good down that back straight. You can see he wears number 9 on the saddle cloth there, Connor Leo. He knows how to ride these events. He's a very strong rider in that comes to criterium racing. And of course, number 17, James Moriarty, just biding his time. And what he's doing, John, he's giving him a little bit of room there, although coming up around the outside, Zach Marriage says, right, I want to be up where the action is. Of course, they're not allowed to pass the bike until it swings off, which is going to swing off now.
Well, Zach's a lot like Ollie Bledon, isn't it? He'll take it up to the front end of the bike race. He doesn't care that there's a sprinter in there, and he'll engage the legs and try to rough them up. Liebenicht now has an opportunity to shoot round the outside to stir up James Moriarty. Moriarty now glances over the shoulder, and he sees the Aussie colours sitting on his wheel, but he's looking out for the danger. Looking to peel off. Liebenicht says, though, try and pass me in a straight line with the speed that I'm going to carry.
Yeah, he's not going full gas at the moment. He wants to try and lead it at. He wants to go with him at the moment. There he goes, Moriarty round the outside there. Connolly down the back straight. Then we got Aston Freeth down. No, it said Zach Marriage down the back straight into third spot. But a big move around the outside. Connolly, let's have a look. Gets him on the line.
Wow.
Oh, good strong finish. Connolly gets him on the line. Moriarty thought he had it, about 5 metres to go, but nah.
Well, that was a race, Graham, and Connor Leo certainly took that one out. Let's hear a round of applause from the spectators for Connor. Job well done. Graham, heat 3 coming out on the track. Josh Harrison. What an amazing talented bike rider. As the years have gone by, he's represented his state, he's represented his country, and he's represented himself in the big international field of the 7-day bike races. Luke White is here. Luke's been one of those young guys that's been in the bikes ever since he was tiny. It's hard to imagine. I mean, he's about 7 foot tall, but we've known Luke since he was such a tiny little thing. Godfrey Slattery, what a bike racer. Gus Miller, Charlie Abel. Is Charlie able to take the win this time? It's an old dad joke, isn't it?
Yeah,
Father's Day's
well,
coming up. Father's Day, we can come out with the dad jokes. And of course, Action Jackson Williams is in the house.
We can have a little bit of leeway there, being Father's Day coming up. And just remember, treat your father well over this coming Sunday. Josh Harrison throws his hand up. I think he's going to roll away in about 5th position, maybe.
I reckon Godfrey's drawn position number 1 on the bike this time.
Godfrey Slattery from Victoria. He's going to be riding on the bike.
Looks like Charlie Abel, position number 2 there. Looks pretty slick in the black uniform. I just heard from Jake that this round, this heat, these guys entertain the crowd so much they thought, you know what, let's not even mix them up. We'll run the same set of riders. So we've got Gus Miller, Godfrey Slattery, Luke White, Jackson Williams, and we've got Josh Harrison and Charlie Abel in the house.
And we've got the big turbo up the top there. He's going to be riding shotgun. Big Angus.
It's Charlie Abel, Harrison, Josh, Jackson.
Yep. It's all over nicely there.
There we go. Godfrey's taken the position on the wheel.
Slatter takes the bike.
I'll tell you what, Graham, in the field of this evening, to come onto the track at Adelaide Track League and get rewarded with the number 1 number for the event this evening. How good's that? I wonder if you get to keep your number. I'd pin that one up in the locker.
I'd pin it up on the wall there, Charlie Abel. And there he is, turbo at the back. He's just moving the bike around, just getting the mix there.
I saw Gus Miller training up on Green Hill Road once. There were 3 Lamborghinis behind him trying to pass him on the windy stretches. They had no chance. I'm telling you, Gus was flying down that hill. No car could overtake him.
No, that's probably about right there. He's a bit of a demon there, old Angus Miller.
He's all right on the downhill anyway.
Godfrey Slattery leads it down the back straight. Abel, I was going to Abel Charlie, but Charlie Abel there sitting in 2nd spot. Looking good there. Josh Harrison.
Well, look out. What's happening in the background?
Intently, the bike swings off. Josh Harrison say, "What are you doing up there, Angus?"
Well, I tell you what,
you going to have a crack or not?
He's like a bird of prey circling from above the skyline there. Jumps down the track, really gains some acceleration now. I won't tell the rest of the field, but he snuck around the outside. He's really kind of timed that to perfection, but there's still plenty of bike race left.
Yeah, plenty of action here. There, Josh Harrison said, "Where'd you come from?" He went straight past me.
Well, Charlie might be able to do this one, Graham. He's coming up around the outside. Godfrey Slattery's there. He's looking quick at the moment. The state colours are flying into the 1st position now, up the front straight. It's an all-out sprint to the finish.
Yeah, Harrison down the back straight. I tell you what, Angus Miller there trying to hold a bit. Harrison coming around the outside. Yeah, Godfrey Slattery, but I tell you what, Josh Harrison's going to take out the eliminate this Kieran race. Oh, good fight for 3rd spot there. I reckon Angus Miller might have just kicked back, but up on the outside in 2nd spot, there was Jackson Williams.
Oh, that was a bike race, Graham. Plenty of entertainment in that one. Folks, let's hear a big round of applause for Josh Harrison. I tell you what, he took that out in style, and he knows how to give the crowd a good salute.
Yeah, look at him. He's punching the air as well. I tell you what, he's a very
an awesome
likeable
coach,
man.
And he's a great guiding light for the junior riders as well coming forward. JKT Coaching, look him up. Caitlin and Josh do an exceptional job at guiding these young riders forward. Because the cupboard doors are, Kate, she can only just barely reach, but of course I come through there, putting the shirt from chopping away, going too fast, thinking too many things, whack,
Oh, did scalp myself. It was old flapper. Blood started shooting out everywhere. The kids are like, quick, Dad, you need stitches. Oh, no. Just
Yeah, you bleed like.
now we've got Junior Kieran, is it?
Okay, Junior Kieran. These are the young guns. We've got, let's have a look. I think they've mixed these up there. I think Josh Harrison said, right, we're going to mix the juniors up. We've got Kalen Tucker on the bottom. He's going to take the bike. There he is. The Kersbrook Killer.
The Kersbrook Killer.
Kalen
He
Tucker.
looks serious too.
Jamison
Key's in there as
William
well.
Brown. And we've got Will Mathwin.
Where there's a will, where there's a way, mate. I reckon that's where
Exactly.
Will Mathwin will find his way all the way forward. to the
Daniel
finish.
Belden. And right up the top, Nick Gray is going to be riding shotgun at the back.
Nick Gray
7 of the
is
best.
tickled pink tonight. Would you say
Tickled-
that? Nick Gray is tickled pink.
Is Tickle Pink riding
Wasn't
here
pink,
tonight.
it's Nick Gray.
That's him.
I didn't say the Father's Day jokes would be good.
Ah, no.
Big
but
shout out to all the dads there. That very special day, Father's Day coming up. I hope you all get what you deserve.
Yeah, exactly. Kalen Tucker. I tell you what, head right over the front wheel.
I tell you what, Tux wants to bring home the championship trophy for his dad for Father's Day. The Tucker family are all around Australia competing in those junior events moving forward, and it's great to see the family out here at the bikes tonight. Graham, I see Banuk Kulatunga, and I'm fairly certain he was selected to represent SA in the junior nationals as well. Have a look at Key. I think he wants to make this bike race his, but William Brown might have something to say about that as well.
Yeah, William Brown has got some. I tell you what, it's like they had him on the rack. I tell you, he's
They've
gone
stretched him.
Yeah, he's gone through Aaron Brown's bike, and now Aaron Brown's bike is too small for him. He's left him behind.
They tell me he doesn't wear shoes anymore. He wears boats or planks of wood
Oh, he's
on
got
his
a
foot.
big pair of feet there, young William Brown.
What's Will Mathwin up to there, Graham? He's
Will Mathwin
allowing
is
a
giving
little
him
bit
a
of
little bit of
racing
room.
room.
He's giving a little bit of race room there, and of course, Will Brown, he's just wondering, William Brown is saying, right, what's happening there? The big fella, Nick, they've got 2 to go coming up. Not a lot of action happening at the moment. Kalen Tucker still deciding to lead it out on the front. William Brown sitting in 3rd spot. Will Mathwin there has got himself caught in a little bit of trouble there. I reckon he can fight his way out, which he does. Coming up, 1 to go this time. Kalen Tucker there leads it out. Jamison Key on the hip around the outside. Oh, look at there, coming through on the inside there. Banuk Kalatunga looking good there. Jamison Key up around the outside in this heat, one of the juniors. Kalen Tucker there holding out for 2nd as he does. Banuk Kalatunga for 3rd. And then we've got William Brown, Will Mathwin, Daniel Borden and Nick Gray making up Junior Kieran Race 1.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was exciting, Graham, and I think we'll need another round of applause for Jamison Key in the all-black colours at the front. And what a sensational ride. He really burst around the outside of the field and took that one. Well, more of the same here, Junior Kieran Racing, an opportunity for the junior riders to test their skills in front of such a spectacular audience and receive all this lovely crowd support. It's great to see one of our fresh-faced young riders now. She's drawn position number 1 at the bottom of the track, Madeline Wasserback. Riders are receiving their last-minute race instructions by the chief.
Okay, lining up on the bottom here, young Madeline Wasserback. Then we've got Regan Stanton, Ava Wilson, Leonie Vanderberg. Then we've got Paige Squire and Ava Schmidtke. Heat 2 of the junior Kieran.
Paige Squire looked a little bit nervous then, Graham, but I think she was just breathing her way into the handlebars. Now that the bike race has started, she's settled those nerves down and she's looking for a position on the wheel.
Oh,
Now,
I tell you
what
what,
do we got
have
here?
a look at that. I mean,
The young rider.
Madeline, Madeline took off quick.
Well, she
there
did.
that
She
I don't think you do that.
She
I mean,
overtook.
you're not supposed to pass the bike, but I think we'll give her a bit
well,
of
I don't
leeway
think the
there.
bike could catch her, could
I
it?
reckon the bike might have been a bit fouled there going around the
I
southern
think the
bend
bike
there.
stalled just a little
Might
bit.
have
That's
stalled.
what I think. It just
That's it.
couldn't find the gear or something. Have a look at the Wyalup Club colours. They look great. And Regan Stanton sitting in position number 2. The black colours always look good out there as well. It's a talented field of young riders here. Stanton looks like she's got the lucky socks on tonight, though.
Yeah, and Ava Wilson sitting in third spot there. Just recently come back from the Victorian State Road Championships where she took the win over there. So
She's had some great races, hasn't she?
pretty impressive racing at the moment, young Ava Wilson.
Well,
Madeline
we're starting to
Wasserback
settle into a rhythm, though, and all the
leads
way
it in the
from the
red
back
colours.
was Ava Schmidtke, wasn't it? I mean, she seemed to be sort of just sitting back there waiting to see what happens. Now the bike comes in and we're getting ready for some action now. Rider 52, Ava Wilson, she's positioned herself well. Madeline still leads the bike race at the moment. The Wyalup colours looking very strong out there, and Regan Stanton really starting to position ourselves right there. Vandenberg looking strong. Ava Schmidtke, though, it's almost like she's sensed that that's the wheel that she needs to be on at the moment as we build up towards the grand final of this bike race. Won't be too far away before the bell. Madeline swings up now, gives way to the quicker riders on the way through. Stanton now picks up the pace, and she's left holding position number 1 as we go round into the bell.
Yeah, bell goes this time. We've got Regan Stanton fires it, 1 to go. Ava Wilson hits it hard down around that back straight. Leonie Vanderberg right onto the wheel there. It's going to be a drag race to the finish. Ava Wilson fights through the northern bend. Good ride, Jamo. But Ava Wilson comes up to the finishing straight, takes the win there from Leonie Vanderberg and Ava Schmidtke. And we got Regan Stanton, Paige Squire, and Madeline Wasserback.
Well, let's hear a round of applause for Ava Wilson. Sensational ride.
Our official starter today is Sue Mitchell there, who's just had a big couple of months there. She went over to Scotland and brought Dad back, and he's going to be living here in South Australia. Found him some nice accommodation at 82 years of age. Yep. Looking good? Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yep. So the ladies have just completed their Kieran. Now coming up for the Elite Women's Eliminator. Where we know the rules there, we've got 10 lap. What's that? The big shed. Whoa. For this? Okay, I'll tell you what. I wouldn't mind getting back on the bike, John. Have a look at the preem. A carton of Big Shed Brewing beer.
I like the motivation behind this one.
I tell you what.
What a great way to start off with the spring.
Back in our days, you might have had a preem sprint for a hot dog or something like that, but not a full carton of Big Shed Brewing.
How about that?
So how this works is we get 10 laps, free gratis, basically tempo riding. It just gets the cobwebs out of the legs. And then at 1 to go, the bell goes. And that, of course, the first rider across the line will take this beautiful box of Big Shed Brewing. Oh, it looks good. And then once they cross the line at 0, then the bell goes, which means every second lap there will be a rider eliminated.
Well, good field, Graham, and some very talented riders out there in this group. We're going to see an exciting bike race. Of course, we've got our 10 laps to settle the tempo down, warm up the legs if you like, and then it's on for action and the eliminator. Where do you ride an elimination event, Graham? I know you love sprinting. That was your the thing you really love to do. But did you like an elimination event? It's like a sprint, but a really long sprint, isn't it?
Yeah, the elimination, I mean, we can have a bit of a talk while they're doing the tempo ride, but the elimination there, I mean, Brett Aiken was probably one of our best elimination riders in Australia. I mean, if there was a gap, he would go through it. If there was no gap, he would still go through it. Amazing, Brett Aiken. But with the elimination, what you've got to do, when it comes down to the part of being eliminated every second lap, you've got to make sure that you've got someone beaten already. You've got to know that someone's behind you, or you've got someone's measure. You can't just go along for the ride and get zipped on the line. So, and also, if you're near the back there and you come around that northern bend, you think the easy runner's on the inside, but you dive for the inside and you hit a brick wall because all the other riders fan out around the outside. All of a sudden, you're the last rider across the line. You can sit on the front if you're good and strong enough, but you think that it's indoors and there's no wind, but you're actually cutting through the air. So it is fairly tough to be riding it on the front. So the one that the good elimination rider can sit midstream and always have someone's measure, and that's basically the race it is.
So it's like a very fast endurance event, if you like, as well. It's got all the elements of action in them. It's one of my favourite events. I always find them to be very exciting. Well, the tempo laps are slowly decreasing now. We're inside that last kilometre now before we get into the elimination laps. Riders are starting to figure out, well, where do I really want to be at the moment? In the orange colours, Elizabeth Green, well, she's positioned herself towards the back, and we see the academy colours, Lauren Perry. She's also positioning herself a little bit back there, but we've still got 750 metres before we get into the elimination side of the event.
Then, and John, and then who's up for the carton of beer?
Whoa, that's the big prize. We're about to find out.
Okay, 2 to go. 1 to go, the bell will go, and across the line at 0, the leading rider will take the preem, and then it's a rider out every second lap. That's when the chief judge there has to make the call. Make it quick. Make the call.
Well, Caitlin Ward's positioned herself well, Graham. The last rider across the line to be eliminated.
I tell you what, this is a good race to the line here. Who's going to take this one out? Oh, I tell you what, how close. Oh, I tell you, I don't know. I reckon on the outside, maybe. I reckon Marilla Willis Hill. I reckon Dad's going to be happy with the carton of beer. Lauren Perry on the front. Next rider, the last rider across the line, will be eliminated, and that's when John calls the rider out.
I'll tell you what, Caitlin Wood was committed to that beer, Graham.
Okay, so in the back straight, Caitlin Ward will be the first rider eliminated. So all riders are still in. The rider has been eliminated, Caitlin Ward. Okay, number 27 has been eliminated. So that group of riders in the front, you're all in still.
Okay, here we go.
No one's eliminated in that front group.
Rider 23. Rider 23 has been eliminated. Recognition for Emily Walker. She self-eliminated herself. Self-eliminated herself. There's a tongue twister in itself.
Okay, down that back straight they go. Oh, Ali Anderson could be in a bit of trouble here. She's got to dig deep around the outside. Has she got the legs?
Rider 32 has been eliminated. Well, Graham, it's exactly what you were talking about with tactics. Rider thinks go the short way, go low on the track, but all of a sudden you ride yourself into a problem. Ellie Anderson quickly backed off, went around the outside, and she stayed in the bike race.
It looks like Marilla could be in a little bit of trouble here. She doesn't look like she's going well at the moment. There will be another rider eliminated this time. It appears to be Marilla Willis-Hell is the rider eliminated.
Rider 30 has been eliminated. Rider 30. Rider 25, rider number 25 has been eliminated. Rider 25. Rider 25, Lauren Perry, rider 25. Well, a very tactical bike race, as Graham mentioned before. Ellie Anderson's riding a tactical race at the moment. She's leading into this lap. The last rider across the line will be eliminated. Rider 33, rider 33.
Okay, that leaves 3 riders left in the bike race. Ellie Anderson hits the front running there. We've got Ella Sibley, and then we've got Nicola McDonald. The bell will go again this time.
Well done, rider 24, Nicola McDonald. She's 3rd place in this eliminator.
Okay, the 2 sassy girls left in the bike race. Ellie Anderson, Ella Sibley. Tell you what, it's beanie weather in here tonight, isn't it? So, Ellie Anderson says, right, I'm playing a little bit of sprint tactics here. I'm going to keep it right high. Who's going to take out the elimination? They're right down to the wire now. Ella Sibley's going to hit hard on that northern bend. Uses the bend to come around the outside. Ellie Anderson runs second there, but it's Ellie Anderson second. But
well, that was a great
Ella
run.
Sibley taking the win.
Well, let's hear a round of applause for the top 2 in the women's eliminator. Sibley and Anderson.
And just noting that Marilla Willis-Hell there, she took out the carton of Big Shed Brewing there. Dad will be very happy about that. She can have a slab of Coke and Dad can have the Big Shed beer. Happy Father's Day. Okay, coming up is the men's eliminator. And we have Charlie Abel, Connor Doyle, Aston Freeth, Josh Harrison, Zach Marriage, Godfrey Slattery, Jackson Williams, Oliver Bledden, Josh Duffy, Graham Frisley, Connor Lay, Angus Miller, Luke White and James Moriarty. Same deal, 10 laps. Free tempo riding, no one's out in that first 10 laps. But as it comes down to 1 to go, they will ring the bell. And who crosses the line at 0 will take the The carton of Big Shed Brewing. Who, if you want to try one of those there, go to the canteen. Grab yourself a coffee in the back straight, of course. Coffee and cycling go hand in hand. Deja Brew coffee in the back straight. Keep him pumping coffee over there. Don't let him go cold. Big Shed Brewing there at the canteen. Prohibition Liquor Company, Alpha Box and Dice, and of course Deja Vu, providing some great food just outside the foyer. Okay, we've got 10 laps to ham it up, John, and then it's we've got to keep it quiet because this is a big race, the Eliminator.
Well, it's an exciting bike race.
Who's going to get the box of the carton of Big Shed Brew?
Well, the tipsters would have to say, all right, if you're a really good sprinter, would you be aiming to sort of think, well, look, am I going to have a show in this elimination, or is this my warm-up, my 10 laps, and I'm going to out-sprint everyone and claim the case of beer? I don't know. So would you pick out a sprinter that maybe claim the case of beer? I reckon Moriarty looks thirsty tonight.
Yeah, he looks thirsty, but I'll tell
surely
you what,
does.
Oliver Bledden, I was talking to his dad on the weekend, and he's about to start building submarines at the Submarine Corp down there at Osborne. And I reckon he'd be in for a nice carton of Big Shed Brew.
Well, I'm starting to think about the young guys, and have they actually taken the time to get their dad a Father's Day present? I'm thinking maybe Jackson Williams would be thinking, look, if I win that beer for Dad, well, that ticks that box.
Yeah.
I can go for a ride tomorrow instead of down the shops. So you'd have to think that one of the young guys on a very low budget would be wanting to win that carton of beer for their dad. That's what I'm tipping. What do you think?
Good thinking.
Is there any rationale behind that?
I reckon there's a lot of rationale behind that.
I think it could be right.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, though, Josh Harrison, he wouldn't mind a nice ale, a nice Big Shed Brew.
Oh.
But if you're going to be right up there, 4 laps to go this time.
And those laps are going quick too. 4 laps to the kilometre here at the Adelaide Superdrome.
Once we get over this part, we'll have a bit of free amble here, John and myself. And then when it comes to the elimination side, we won't call the race, but we will call the riders that have been eliminated, unfortunately.
Maybe Josh Duffy would go for the beer. Duff beer for me?
Yes.
It could be Duff for the beer. Different brand, I know. Sorry, Big Shed. It's Big Shed.
Sounds like
Brewing.
The Simpsons, an advert for The Simpsons. Duff.
All right, Graham, we're starting to get to the pointy end of the bike race now where they aim for that carton of beer, and then we're into the eliminator section of the bike race. The riders are starting to reposition themselves. I think you're right.
Maxwell Liebernick, he might have said, I tell you what, he's hammering it down the back straight.
He's after that Father's Day present.
Tell you what, he's just come back from the Worlds. He hadn't had time to buy his dad a carton of beer.
He needs to take this.
Have a look at this. He's got his tongue hanging out already going down that back straight.
He can almost taste that for his dad.
Absolutely. Mr. Liebernick, you've got the carton of Big Shed Brew here.
How good's that? Here we go, up the front
and
straight.
I'll tell you what.
He'll take the carton of beer.
But that's a big thing. He's not going to be the first rider eliminated as well.
He's timed that just
he's
right.
pulled up. He wanted that beer.
He wanted the beer. He was committed.
Absolutely. Got his prize. That's a world champion effort for that Big Shed Brew.
Well.
Okay. The first rider that's going to be eliminated is Maxwell Liebernick. I tell you what, the crowd are loving it. The world champions just took out that carton of Big Shed Brew.
Here we go. Rider number 4. Rider 4 has been eliminated. It's a cruel bike race, this one. Straight out the preem into the elimination. Rider 4 has been eliminated. That's Connor Doyle. Good try, Connor. Rider number 1 has been eliminated. A round of applause for young Charlie Abel.
Okay, the bell will go again this time.
Self-elimination tactic. I'll wait for the judge. Jackson Williams has been eliminated. Rider number 16.
Okay, the bell coming up again. Luke White needs to pull something out.
So rider 14, Luke White, has been eliminated. He's White out of the race, isn't he? Rider number 6. Rider 6 has been eliminated. Rider number 6, Aston Freeth. Rider 13, Godfrey Slattery, has been eliminated. Rider 13. Rider 5. Rider number 5 has been eliminated. Josh Duffy.
Connor just making it work. He's like, nope, you're not boxing me.
Rider 11. Rider number 11, Zach Marriage, has been eliminated.
He did it in the TT as well. He's just like,
Rider number 9. Rider 9, Connolly, has been eliminated.
Josh leaving a big gap.
What number? Number 12. Rider number 12 has been eliminated. Gus Miller. Rider number 12 has been eliminated.
Ignore the fact that the video camera's on the finish line. Someone in the face of the car.
Rider number 8 has been eliminated, Joshua Harrison. Well, I love the crowd support. Thank you for James Moriarty has been eliminated, rider number 17. We're down to the final 2 riders now in Frizzley and Bledden. Would you call him Frizzley the Grizzly with that new beard that he's got up there? Frizzley's high up on the fence at the moment. Bledden likes that position where he is. He's got his eyes all over the prize at the moment, into the bell lap now. Fairly evenly matched, these young contenders here. Bledden has to dig deep now. Frizzley finds that slipstream down the back straight and a sudden burst of acceleration into the northern embankment. Less than 20 metres to go now. Around the outside, Frizzley takes the win ahead of Bledden. Well, the men's eliminator and the women's eliminator, exciting stuff. It was all about the Big Shed Brewing Company prizes with that preem sprint before we got underway into the eliminator. What an exciting bike race event it is. Adelaide Superdrome, Adelaide Track League. A big night at the bikes on Friday night.
Yeah, it's been a great concept, the Track League, where on a Friday night after a hard week of work, come down here and witness probably three and a half hours of top racing.
Well, it's been the good old days, isn't it, Graham? I mean, cycling is the working class man, the sport of the working class man. And years gone by, everybody had a bike, everybody rode to work. It didn't matter where you went. The bike was the number one transport, and it was everyone used to race as well. Big carnivals, outdoor football ovals were also like part of the bike racing scene. And I like what Adelaide Track League's done. They brought bike racing back to Adelaide, the heart of racing here, and given an opportunity for junior racers to experience the crowds and support and the spectators and the noise that they'd expect at national level racing. And it also gives our up-and-coming stars another opportunity to train at race speed for their next opportunity.
Yeah, no, that's a good wording on the Track League sort of thing, and of course it brings out the best in a lot of the riders there. Now we've got the chase race, which can be seen as a little bit unusual. It's over 8 laps. We've got a field in the back straight. Technically, they're half a lap down. So in the front straight, Daniel Bowden, Nick Gray, Benoit Kalatunga, Ava Schmidtke, Regan Stanton, Leonie Vanderberg and Ava Wilson. In the back straight, William Brown, Jamison Key, Will Mathwin, Paige Squire, Kaylin Tucker, Madeline Wasserback.
Graham, a chase race. It's not something we'll probably see in a Commonwealth Games or a national championship event. This is a little bit of a fun event, if you like, for the junior bike racers. Something a bit of fun, and fun for the spectators as well. So the idea of the game, Graham, is this front group here is the lead of the bike race. The 3 riders at the back have only now been released when the whistle blew. That's the back of the bike race. The back 3 riders have to chase to get the front riders in order to win this one. It's quite interesting.
I'm not sure what the handicapper was thinking here, but
I have no idea.
The front group here is just going so strong at the moment. Those back group there, Kaylin Tucker, Benoit Kalatunga and Will Mathwin, they're going to have to really dig deep.
Well, they're going to have to ride that like a team pursuit, aren't they? I mean, or you think of it like the scratch group at the Austral wheel race or something like that, looking out on the hunt for the limit markers.
Yeah, we've got William Brown there leading the group. They've caught up. Well, I reckon they've caught. Well, actually, they haven't caught much at all. But William Brown leading strong there. Jamison Key and Ava Wilson. So they three are working hard. In the back straight, we've got Banuk Kalatunga, Will Mathwin and Kaylin Tucker have to really dig deep. They can see the riders in front. They can use that to their advantage. 5 laps to go.
Oh, the spectators getting behind the riders too to give them a cheer. Graham, this is also a great speed comparison. You know, when you look at what is a Formula One car as opposed to a V8 supercar, the family sedan. When you think about junior bike races, we've got 3 different gearing rollouts in this bike race, and that's where you see a difference of leg speed in these riders.
See what's happening now. The 3 at the back are working in unison. They're working like a team's pursuit. The front group, well, I must say that they've probably gone to pieces, because the 3 in the back there, they've made up probably 200 metres nearly in about 2 laps.
Well,
3 to go this time.
All they needed, that little bit of a pep talk from you, Graham, because now we've got a group of riders at the front really starting to work together, more like a team pursuit team. But is it going to be too late? Up the front straight they go. Have a look at the lap board counter. 2 laps to go this time for the chasers to win the bike race.
Okay, 500 metres left. Can the back 3 catch them on the front? He leads it on the front. Ava Wilson, William Brown, Will Mathwin there driving it hard. Kaylin Tucker looks, I tell you what, he's got a smile on his face. William Brown going at 1 to go there. Will Mathwin there leading it hard there. He needs to chase it home. Kaylin Tucker, I tell you what, I reckon William Brown could be in some good chocolates here. But Jamison Key leads it coming up the finishing straight. Will take the win. William Brown second. Kaylin Tucker in the back straight. He will pull out to in 3rd spot. Will Mathwin. I tell you what, I reckon that front group, very tactical race there. They eased up and dangled the carrot. Took off at 1 to go. William Brown thought, I'm going to go for the chocolates here. He let it out strongly. And the front straight took the win.
That's what happens when you get into the party late, you know? Yeah, I know, you always do. Yeah. Sort of got that right. I reckon that was good. That was excellent. Yep. Come up with another previous one, they kicked him up. Will Holmes not here. You've got to make it look like you're not hurting.
I was like, this hill was just hard.
You can manage to get your front wheel off the ground too. I'd love to see you more relaxed.
Yeah, I can't, I don't know.
One hand on the handlebars.
I'm not that
Yeah,
talented.
that's it.
I wish. That would be the dream. Thanks for commentating.
One heart for her mum.
Yep.
The other heart just for herself. Got so much love.
You've got to invest in yourself.
Exactly. Someone's got to.
Spot on. Well done. I was going to ask her about the front wheel, but I was going to ask her about the front wheel. Does that mean you share a front wheel? You know.
Oh,
that like,
I don't know about that.
Is that like a ring kind of thing, or
Is that the engagement ring, the front wheel?
Not bad. We're down to. I only got a ton this time. Oh, a ton and a bit. I got 2.5. I got 2 ton last time. Oh, I can't remember. That's a good. It's about 320 a ton. There you go. It's bloody good. I have to drive over and get it, but I like the drive out there. It's kind of nice.
At least I know where it is now, mate.
Yeah, go out there for sure. Have you got a trailer?
Well, my trailer got burnt. I'm still hanging on to it, but I use my neighbour's trailer. But I've got a. Liz said you've got to buy one for Father's Day or my birthday, you know. But I'll need to get one with the cage on the side. And what size is your trailer? Yours is a big one.
Yeah, it's tandem with the thing. It's a 2 ton trailer.
Yeah,
I probably wouldn't want a 2 ton trailer.
Well, let's get down to some sprint action now. Adelaide Track League bringing the sprinters out tonight. On display, Matthew Gleitzer and Maxwell Liebenink. I can only imagine being Maxwell Liebenink, Graham, getting a ride with Matt Gleitzer in front of all these spectators here and also on the live stream around Australia. I mean, what a magnificent opportunity. If it wasn't for Adelaide Track League putting an event like this together, I mean, what other opportunity would you get to have an opportunity to race against one of the best and fastest in the world in Matthew Gleitzer? What an opportunity for young Maxwell Liebenink.
Exactly right, and of course it is off season at the moment, and the Maxwell Liebenink is one of the riders, the 3 riders he teamed up with to win the World Junior Team Sprint. We know Matt Gleitzer, he's got a tremendous amount of power in the seat. He's just got so much power there, and he comes to the line, and that would have been a very, very quick time. And tell you what, Maxwell Liebenink there just put it right up to him, made him really go for it.
And Liebenink raced up there, right there with Matt Gleitzer in the same straightaway finishing. Big round of applause for these 2 riders. They're bringing the big show here to Adelaide at the Superdrome. What a sensational opportunity. It's really interesting, Graham, as well. I mean, track sprint racing is a thing that you know a lot about over the years, being 7-time state sprint champion of South Australia. The difference in the gearing and the age difference in the rider. I guess Maxwell Liebenink now is one of the junior riders coming forward. He's still under 19. The different size and shape of the body. Matt Gleitzer, unrestricted gearing. You could sort of see the difference of the leg speed, but at this stage in Maxwell's career, you wouldn't put him on the same gear as Matt Gleitzer, would you?
No, wouldn't be riding that big gear at the moment, sort of thing, but he will be developing into it, and his coaches here, the Australian coaches, have got something to work with. I mean, like the juniors taking out the prestigious team sprint just recently.
Absolutely
They've got
spectacular.
3 young ones. Dylan Stanton from Whyalla was one of his teammates there in that event, and they were tremendous to work with. I mean, just working with racing against the man himself out there, Matt Gleitzer. He's a big unit. He reminds me of the boxer in Rocky. You remember the Russian boxer in Rocky?
Sure does.
And he's of that side of build. And he's just a big unit,
is.
absolute big unit sort of thing, and knows how to put it in. He's so strong out of the seat. He's so strong in the seat. He rides big gears. And, of course, Maxwell Liebenink at the moment, he wouldn't be up to riding those big, enormous gears at this stage.
But a nice little match-up, because both those boys have just come off of the peak of a competition, and they're both riding very fast at the Superdrome. Up next, of course, we've got James Brister. Now, James Brister heralds from the Port Adelaide Cycling Club, and we've watched young James Brister grow up through the talent identification program, of which many of these younger riders come in. And Cornish taking Brister and really schooling him in the sprint here, if you like, tonight.
Yeah, dived it through down underneath there, and he rode exceptionally well. But have a look at him here. Brister now coming at him up around that northern bend there. Going to race into the line. Oh, I tell you what, no. I reckon on the inside. I reckon the dive on the inside. But let's have a look. I tell you what, we're going to have to go right down to the wheel. Oh, I tell you what. Oh, just as well. Just as El Rachel's got it on. Who? Top rider. Yep. Right up the top by a bee's whisker. Did you want to look at the photo? You got it? Okay, we got that on film there. Good job, Rachel. I picked the bottom, but then again,
Well, a big round of
technology
applause
beat
to Barista and
But then
Cornish.
Susan Mitchell there, she picked the top. She said, I've got a good eye.
Who was it? Who took the wicket? Who was at the top? Bristol, was it? Come on. Father.
Okay, that was the sprint there, and as you can see, we say a bee's whisker, or a bee's knee, or whatever sort of thing. It was so close. Half the width of the tyre. Brista.
Well, it's time to get back to some endurance racing here. Adelaide Track League at the Adelaide Superdrome. And an opportunity now, we've seen the fast sprint legs engaged in the Kieran events earlier. Now it's time for the endurance riders to really shine in this bike race here. We've got Ali Anderson, Elizabeth Green, Lauren Perry, Emily Walker, Marilla Willis-Hell, Nicola McDonald, Ella Sibley, Sophie Edwards and Amber Pate. And as far as endurance riders are concerned, well, I guess we'd be looking towards our road-based riders now to really shine in this 30-lap or 7.5 kilometre event.
Number 29. Kate Ward's in this. Oh, she is. I don't think Anderson's riding.
She's up the top.
Oh, yes, it is.
Sophie Edwards gives a flick of the elbow, signifying that she's ready for the next rider to come through to take up the turn. Pate now ahead of Perry, setting a nice pace. Riders will be sitting on around about 40, 42 kilometres an hour as we start to build. Morella Willis-Hell now, short turn, gives way to the next rider in the procession, Emily Walker. Sibley's had a great race meet. Nicola McDonald, she's quite the endurance racer. And as I mentioned earlier, coming off the back of a fantastic season in the USA racing in the Crit Series over there. I guess she'd made that her second home, really. She missed a season due to COVID, but what a wonderful opportunity. One of our young riders, Stacey McCudden, is away studying in the States at the moment. She's racing in the Collegiate Series. Great opportunity to get some experience also for Stacey McCudden, one of the young South Coast Cycling Club riders. Speaking of South Coast Cycling Club, it won't be too far away. It's spring has sprung. As soon as daylight saving starts, the track opens up at Edwardstown. And South Coast Cycling Club, the home of outdoor racing at Edwardstown Memorial Oval. If you've got young children up in the audience tonight and you're wondering, how would we get a start in bike racing? Well, there are come and try activities here at the Adelaide Superdrome. There are also outdoor venues like Edwardstown South Coast Cycling Club hosting local club level racing in the great outdoors. Back to racing.
Yeah, exactly right. Just gone on that Edwardstown sort of thing. I mean, the South Coast Cycling Club have got a very, very proactive track program there during the summer months there. I think David Schutz gets the barbecue rolling down there on a Friday night, and they have a barbecue down there, racing sort of thing. It's all friendly. But really good there. Number 26 up the top there, Ella Sibley. We've seen her perform nicely tonight in the Kieran racing. And this is a bit of her forte there. She was a world champion in this event. 21 laps to go. Amber Pate, Lauren Perry leads it away there from number 32 there. Sophie Edwards, that just recently crowned state road champion. Ali Anderson goes through now. Caitlin Ward, Marilla Willis-Hell, Elizabeth Green.
A lot of
making up
short
the field.
turns, Graham, at the moment in the early lap section of the bike race. I have a feeling that those young riders there, the tactic is perhaps to save those legs, do the shortest turn possible on the front, You talked about it before. You think we're on the indoor velodrome here. There's no headwind as such, but there really is a wind wall that you're trying to carve through, and that's the advantage of sitting on that lead rider. That second rider in the procession doing considerably less heavy lifting, if you like, than the front rider. So the shorter the turn, the more legs you save towards the end, and especially if you're more a sprint build, you'd be looking to save that energy for that frantic activity at the end. The endurance race, is it tactical? I mean, the points race is very tactical. You have to watch, count laps. The Madison race, we talked about the elimination. It is, in a sense, an endurance event. This type of, I guess, bunch race here, it's all about the laps. What are the tactics here?
Well, I mean, the tactics are you basically got to look after yourself. You always got to make sure that you're in a good position in the bike race. Always nice to pick a good wheel, a rider that's very smooth in front. You're able to follow it, sort of thing. And of course, you always got to have your wits about you as it gets down to the business end of the bike race. But if you're feeling good there, and what happens that once the rider swings up, as Sophie Edwards did then, you can see that the rider there, Ali Anderson, she put a little bit of an effort in there to try and hurt the legs of the riders in that back section there. But as they're going through Ella Sibley, so the not as much tactics in the like elimination or the points race, but you still got to go with the flow, and you've got to look after yourself. At 30 laps, it's a fairly long distance, and if the race is hard, you've got to look after those legs.
Well, we started with 7.5 kilometres. I think we're down to something like about 3 or 4. We're inside that distance now. 14 laps to go as they come around this time. Sophie Edwards looks very confident, very comfortable in the bike race. She certainly is a great endurance bike racer. She's also a very handy weapon in a team's pursuit type of event. So Sophie is certainly a contender for this type of event here. On the front, Emily Walker does a long turn this time, glances over her shoulder. She'll take up a position back in the peloton there, and she gives way to the ACA colours, the academy colours, if you like, of Lauren Perry and Amber Pate. Pate now just switches up the track. Perry's going for a short turn, Graham. Do you think Perry's more of a sprinter? Pate's more of an enduro rider?
Yeah, sort of. But I mean, although Amber Pate, very endurance-based sort of thing, but Lauren Perry, I was speaking to her at on Saturday at My Palonga, and she had a big stint in Belgium, racing in Belgium. She absolutely loved it until someone crashed into her, crashed in front of her, and she went over the top of her. So put her out for a few weeks. But she loved the racing in Belgium. And
that'd be a great experience racing way over in Europe.
Fantastic experience in Europe racing. You saw that you were saying that Nicola McDonald's been. She loves to go to America and ride the Crit Series as well.
She sure does. She features very strongly over there. Her dad manages one of the teams. Exceptional family when it comes to contacts in the bike racing business. Sibley on the front, short turn. McDonald, and it's green in the orange as she comes around this time, leading up the front straight.
Green in the orange. Yes, that's. I like that.
You know, I see Emily Walker come around and do her turn. I don't know a lot about Emily, Graham. I haven't met her before, but she seems quite confident in the racing this evening. She's holding her own in this type of bike race. She's mixed it up with the shorter stuff, but she is also showing she's got some endurance legs as well.
Yeah, riding very strongly indeed, but there's short, sharp turns again. We saw Ella Sibley there. Nicola McDonald, very, very short, sharp turns. 7 laps to go at this stage. Good crowd here tonight, John. All watching the racing there. Absolutely magnificent. Good to see Sabrina here watching racing tonight.
Well, Graham, the race has stalled up along the fence just a little way there, but Sibley seems to settle it back down. Morella Willis-Hell dives for the bottom of the track. McDonald not scared of taking a turn at the front. And here comes Emily Walker again. She's doing plenty of turns in this bike race, showing that she's certainly somebody to watch as we progress through.
Yeah, talking about the 3 young ladies that are riding in this bike race here tonight, sort of thing. Of course, they got first, second and third. Sophie Edwards took the win in the road race on Saturday at My Palonga. They changed the circuit around. They didn't have it on the bottom section on the flat. They finished outside of the the haul there, and it was an uphill finish. Absolutely magnificent. You see him turn into the finishing straight. It was a long drag. Thank Jake for that. He organised the circuit out there at Maipolonga. Absolutely loved it and did a fantastic job putting on the 2 days of bike racing out there. So in this here racing here tonight, of course, Sophie Edwards took the win from Nicola McDonald, just got her on the line, and of course Lauren Perry finishing third in the bike race. Now you see Amber Pate coming to fore there. Wow. She's really going to throw the hammer down. She's driving it strong on the front there, really motoring the pace up now. Have a look at there. She's got Lauren Perry on the wheel. Is this a bit of a move going on here?
Well, I think it could be pretty close at the moment, Graham, too. Judging by the amount of laps that we've got left in this bike race, 2 laps to go, 500 metres, half a kilometre out of the 7.5 kilometre event. Glances over her shoulder now. Pate's digging in deep for Perry. Sophie Edwards is sitting in position number 3, and I can't help but think that that could be the winning position at the moment for Edwards. Look back on her wheel, though, and we've got Sibley, but Nicola McDonald is finding her form now later in the bike race into the bell lap now. McDonald round the outside, shoulder to shoulder with Edwards. Edwards now has got to match up with Perry down the back straight. Edwards has got the goods, moves forward strongly, but Sibley's in the draft and sees an opportunity to catch over the line. Who will take it out? It looks like Edwards is too strong. Sibley finished fast. I think Perry held on for 3rd place there, and McDonald finished strongly with Marilla Willis-Hell. What a fantastic bike race.
Oh, good strong finish. Give the young ladies a big cheer here. Sophie Edwards taking the win from a fast finishing Ella Sibley. Lauren Perry hanging on for 3rd.
Now, Graham, there's teams and team tactics and all sorts of things there, and you'd have to say with the ACA colours on, did Amber Pate just race that race for Perry?
Why, maybe.
That was a great lead out. I don't know. That's
it's
just part of that.
I think Amber Pate wanted to win. I think Amber Pate wanted to win it from 3 to go. But,
fantastic effort.
She just happened to be on the front, Lauren Perry on the wheel. So it worked that one out. But no, great, fantastic race. Okay, we're coming back now from like enduro racing to sprint racing. Maxwell Liebernick up against James Brister. Then we've got Matt Glaitzer up against Thomas Cornish. Those two finished 1st and 2nd in the Commonwealth Games time trial, 1,000 metre time trial. I reckon it might be getting close to last drinks in the back straight. I reckon in the back straight there, let's have a look at Deja Brew Coffee. I'll tell you what, I reckon he's been going fairly well tonight, but down to not too many races left. The sprint racing, and then we've got the men's scratch race is the last event of the night. And that's over 10 kilometres, 40 laps. So if you want your coffee, a nice coffee before you head home, pop over to the back straight. Deja Brew Coffee. There's also drinks in the canteen. They're still open there. Big Shed Brewing, Prohibition Liquor Company, and Alpha Box and Dice for your drinks. I think Deja Vu maybe still out the front cooking up a storm. So that's our hospitality here for the Track League.
Men's sprint round 2. Maxwell Liebernick versus James Brister. Liebernick draws position 1 at the bottom of the track. And away we go. Starter is happy. Liebernick to lead the way. Certainly some talent out there in the sprint arena. Liebernick, we've watched him come through that coveted talent identification program, and it seems like not so long ago we watched a very young James Brister come through that same program. And it really has been an amazing tool for developing, finding, seeking the young athletes with that right engine room and turning them into bike racers. And that's what the outcome of that is here. Riders that have that quality that they can go away and represent Australia at the highest level of the sport. Liebernick leading, Brister dancing up and down the track. As the tempo of the music builds, Graham, so does the speed on the track.
Yeah, builds up. Maxwell Liebernick on the front. James Brister just biding his time up at the top there. He sits very strong in the saddle there. Maxwell Liebernick now has to really punch hard, but James Brister got a little bit too much speed tonight. Remembering Maxwell Liebernick has just come back off a very, very hard World Championship series, so he's probably just buttoned off a little bit in training, but still, he's current World Junior Team Sprint Champion. Give these two sprinters a cheer. It's the last time you'll see him here tonight at the Track League. James Brister, Maxwell Liebernick. Oh, he reckons he's shot. I'll tell you what, though. He took out the big carton of Big Shed Brewing for his dad tonight. Happy Father's Day.
Well, this is an event for the spectators here this evening. Adelaide Track League turning on another brilliant bike race evening here. Friday night at the bikes. You can't do any better. Beer goes well with bikes. Coffee and brews go well with the bikes. So does great food and great music. The sprinters come back out to play with Matthew Gleitzer and Thomas Cornish. Gleitzer drew position number 1 and rolls away to the bottom of the track. Graham, a couple of outstanding athletes, these guys. They're the top of their game, the best of the best, representing Australia at all levels across the world. And we get to see them here on their home soil, in front of the home audience. It's absolutely spectacular to see riders of this quality here on display. And it's absolutely lovely to see so many spectators here tonight at the bikes.
Okay, as you can see, these two riders, I'm going to use it anyway. Cornish is no pasty out there, so he really knows how to ride fast. That's my dad joke for the night and not getting any better. So the big fella on the front, he's riding it hard. He's going to come in to get one to go this time. Cornish moves up to the top there. It's down the back straight, Matt Gleitzer. Have a look at Cornish. He's moved up high. Now he's going to try and hit him on that bend there, but it's up the finishing straight. Big, strong ride. Matthew Gleitzer takes the win. Thomas Cornish gets second there. Big, strong. Give these two sprinters a big cheer. The last time you'll see them
let's
here
have a big
tonight.
round of applause for Cornish and Gleitzer.
Speed.
Well, we've gone from the cut and thrust, short, fast, loud of the track sprint specialists. They get their business done inside of 3 laps. And it all really comes down to those final 100 metres, doesn't it? When they dice it out for the line And then we've got a different breed of rider now that's coming out onto the track. These are our track endurance riders, and often our top road riders developing their strength out of this on display out here on the track. Rider 17 in the ACA colours, James Moriarty, does a short turn now. Plenty of different coloured jerseys out there. The South Australian Sports Institute colours, the Australian colours now, the Podium Potential Academy are all identified in this endurance event. Already 37 laps to go, and these guys are turning it up at around 47 kilometres an hour. The pace is already up high, hard and fast. The TMX Team Make colours. They are also one of the teams recognisable from the Australian Road Series. Sensational, talented young riders. Angus Miller in the state colours gives way to Luke White. White from Mount Gambier. He's raced all around Australia in different teams. Gathered up lots of experience and lots of notoriety throughout these years. That beautiful tucked aerodynamic position that you see of Connor Lee, bringing the pace up to just under 50 kilometres an hour. These guys know their business, and they can hold these speeds lap after lap. They train all week for this, and often these guys are almost full-time bike racers to maintain this level of speed and endurance. The Butterfields team colours just briefly at the front.
Okay, 33 laps to go. This is your endurance part of the night, the last event.
It's a big bike race, this one, Graham.
Oh, it is so. And have a look at Jack Marriage on the front. He's saying, right, I'm going to just twinkle away on the front there.
Zach's really adopted that aerodynamic position on the top of the handlebars now. He's got in his mind that maybe he's going to create a little bit of a breakaway, maybe some wriggle room, but let's see how this one turns out. Nobody's keen to let them get too much room at the moment.
No, the
although
racing.
He doesn't look like he's on full rivet at the moment.
No, not on full rivet at the moment there. We saw Luke Wright do a big, strong turn down the back straight. Connolly down that back straight. Josh Harrison. He looks comfortable on the bike, Josh. He never looks like he's hurting. He sits the bike very comfortable. Always knows how to position himself well. Down the back straight. Godfrey Slattery swings up, does a nice little hard, strong turn. 29 laps to go, Oliver Bledden. I know he's going to put a scare amongst the group short in this bike race. That's the type of rider he is. Now, leading onto the front there, Luke White. Graham Frisley.
Graham Grizzly, did you say?
Graham
with his
Grizzly.
Grizzly Adams beard on at the
Graham
front there.
Grizzly Frisley. That's him. He's got the old beard happening there. Didn't shave down for the event.
Ollie Bledden, he finds himself very much at home in this type of event. Doesn't shirk his responsibility for a nice long turn at the front.
The bigger the longer the distance, the bigger the race and whatever, Oliver Bledden there comes to...
his legs really get to be warmed up,
like
don't
a good beard, just rises to the occasion.
Well, the pace is up high because Connor Doyle is already starting to feel it in the legs. He's racing with the Butterfields colours on tonight. He was actually looking across the lap board thinking, I can't believe that's that many laps to go. And I'm just sitting off the back at the moment. He seems to be matching the pace of the lead, but he just can't close up that ground by himself because just at the front of the field there, the pace goes on. Ollie Bledden looks like he wants to put a coffin nail
Yeah,
into
the
this
pace
one.
is really, really on at the moment. Graham Frisley does a nice little turn there. Ashton Free just does a nice little quick turn. But have a look at the power now there. Oliver Bledden really driving at the hard. Connolly goes up with him and says, that was a pretty hard turn you just thrown in there. He's sort of split a couple out the back. Connolly now goes a little bit of a way. Oliver Bledden there did that strong hard turn. Josh Harrison there.
Look at the speed on these guys, mate.
Josh Harrison, he always looks comfortable on the bike as though he's never in trouble.
He sure does. He he knows how to manage his body. He knows how to manage those sorts of distances. But have a look at talking about managing the distance here. He's gone for the doctor, hasn't he? Connolly really turns it up a notch. out the back door. 1, 2, 3. Whittling the field down. And we talked about tactics in an endurance event before, Graham. It's brutal. I would call this type of event brutal. If you're very strong, you're very fit, and you're a top endurance rider, the name of the game here is to hurt as many people as you can on the way through to really take the sting out of anybody's sprint legs towards the end. You just want to ride them into the ground is basically what's going on.
Exactly right, John, and what you're saying there, that is one tactic. If you want to be the aggressor, the dominator, you really hit them hard. But the other tactic is to hang in there. If you can hang in there sort of thing, you're doing well, because the pace, already we've shed about 3 or 4 riders.
Aston has just come back into the field as well. He was really looked like he was in a difficult position there, but he's managed to hang on again, and he's still in that lead group.
A little bit of an Aston Martin effort there.
Absolutely. He found that 6th gear in the transmission, and
he's gone. Josh Harrison swings up the top there. 18 laps to go. They've gone half distance already. Zach Marriage will continue on riding along. Loves these type fast events at the moment. Drops down to the back. Graham Frisley on the front. We saw him win the election earlier on. Did a fantastic job. Connolly, the pursuit rider, the Australian pursuit champion.
Well, Harrow's got out for a big turn on the front there. Just stirred things up just a little bit, but he said, come on, guys, did you really think I was going to go on with this by myself at the moment? You got plenty of fresh legs here to rely on. He finds his spot back in the field there. Looking for a wheel, though. The pace goes on very quickly at the front. And it's James Moriarty this time putting the hurt on.
Yeah, putting the absolute hurt on. He's really driving it hard with the Academy colours there. Looks over the shoulder. Graham Frisley rocks up there as well.
He's hit him that hard, Graham, that have a look just popping out the back
Josh
door.
Duffy there is
I mean,
struggling a little bit.
He's got some great endurance legs on any other night, but the pace is extremely high on this one.
Graham Frisley, 14 laps to go. I tell you what, they're just ticking over these laps in a very, very fast time. And now we've got Zach Marriage on the front. The old turbo, Angus Miller.
Well, I'll go for a lark, he says, and let's join up together and put the state colours on the top of the podium, and away they go. Plenty of South Australian colours represented out there. Ollie Bledden's found himself just off of a wheel at the moment.
The thing I like about Angus Miller is a very laid-back competitor, loves racing, loves to come up and have a chat. That's the thing I like about him. He'll talk the leg off a chair just about. Lovely young man, and I'll tell you what, he's got the effort in. Looks over the shoulder, has a bit of a look. Connolly down to 10 to go this time, 3/4 race distance.
Well, Graham, we're down to 10 to go. It's like a third of that race distance, but I reckon we're down to half of the field at least as well. There are only about 7 riders left in this one. Josh is starting to feel the hurt of the pace at the moment. Have a look at those legs at the front, though. He just never runs out of batteries, this young guy, does he? Zach Marriage. He's in front of the home crowd here, taking the opportunity. Let's have a big cheer for Zach Marriage. I reckon if we cheer hard enough, we might be able to cheer him on to go up half a lap easy.
Yeah, I tell you what, I mean, you don't get 20 points for a lap gained in a scratch race.
Well, you
but
don't,
you can
but it's
take
exciting
the
to
win.
watch.
He's looking back there. It's down
No
to
one's
5
that.
riders there. Get behind these riders, trying to cheer him on. Aston Free. Josh Harrison really struggling a little bit at the moment. Zach Marriage down that back straight to the northern bend. 7 laps to go.
Oh, Graham, can Aston Freeth come back from here? He needs a little bit of crowd support behind him at the moment. He's looking at the rear. He's trying to chase the wheel down. He's inside that last kilometre to go. Can he hold on?
I'll tell you what, he's going to get back up because they've gone up to the top for the doctor to say hello.
Now, Josh might
Even
just
Josh
get
Harrison
back in
might
this
come
one
back.
yet too. Here he comes. He's just picking the shortest way around the track. Whilst
Come
the other
on,
guys
get
have
behind
a bit of a
Josh
rest,
Harrison.
but,
Get him up there to the front.
Have a look at
and
Gus.
now we've got Gus Miller.
You know what? Sorry, Harrow. I'm just going to force the pace
one
up
of
a
his
little
training
bit. But Josh
partners.
gets back in.
Josh Harrison nearly gets on, and Angus Miller says, right, see you later. I'm out of here.
Come on, Gus.
He's
gonna give it a
going
fair
well.
crack.
Zach Marriage swings up and he said, well, I'm not going to chase you down.
No, we'll let
Connor
these-
Leahy's going to have to do it down there, the Australian Pursuit Rider champion. Oliver Bledden now puts it in. Moriarty there, short, sharp turns. I'll tell you what, Angus Miller looks good at the moment. Ashton Freeth puts in a big, strong one. Coming up to 4 to go.
Well, let's
3
have a
to
look
go.
at
They're
how this
inside the
turns
last
out.
kilometre.
Has Gus timed this out right,
Oh,
but look out for
get
Moriarty
behind,
now.
Get behind
Here we go.
Angus
Gus
Miller
gets
there.
the cheer
He's
squad
doing
on.
it well. Graham
Academy
Frisley,
Riders.
he's going to try. No, they can't bring it back. I reckon Angus Miller looks
He might
good.
just have this.
Graham
Frisley goes
Frisley
out.
down the back straight. Angus Miller there coming in, 2 to go. Can he hold it out? Graham Frisley riding strong. Connor Leahy, Zach Marriage, Oliver Bletton. It's going to go right down to the wire here. Graham Frisley looking good, John, down the back
Well,
straight.
I
1.5 laps to go. I reckon Oliver Bledden looks good here at the moment. He's going to make a change in a minute. Bring it
Well, absolutely exciting finish on this one. Bledden now works his way up into position number 3. He's looking up on the outside. Have a look at the wriggle he gets on here. He's going to pull this one in. Frisley, a battle there, but how about Oliver Bledden? Oh,
I
wants
tell you
the
what,
crowd.
Oliver Bledden, what a ride.
He wants the crowd
He
support.
just danced on the pedals there at 1 lap to go. I'm sitting in 4th spot.
Oh, let's hear
Oh,
another big
bring
round
it
of
home.
applause.
Oliver Bledden there.
Bledden.
Big cheer, mate. Oh, he's got a smile on his face.
Well, Graham, that was a big night at the
Oh,
bikes
big
here.
racing tonight.
Adelaide Track League. It's the only place to be on a Friday night after work. This is the home of the knockoff drink, that's for sure.
And again, on behalf of John Kelly and myself, what a fantastic night of Adelaide Track League here. Give him a cheer again. I tell you what, Angus Miller nearly stole the show, but Oliver Bledden there takes the win. Some great racing tonight from 6:30, short, sharp, quick. What a good way to spend a Friday night. Thank you to all of the commissaires. Thank you for the crowd. Thank you for the riders. And John, what a good night. Because we did make it 9 o'clock, so we've had just under 3 hours of top fast racing. Bad luck, Angus, you nearly got there. That's it for Track League for the year. Go and grab a drink on your way home, but don't drink and drive. The coffee man has gone. Thank you very much to all of the sponsors here tonight. Deja Brew Coffee, Big Shed Brewing, Prohibition Liquor Company, Alpha Box and Dice, Suki Lala for the eats. Absolutely fantastic night. Again, thank you very much to all of the commissaires. Thank you very much to Jake and his crew to bring on the Adelaide Track League, the last one of these leagues racing for this year. And on behalf of John Kelly and myself, good night and have a safe journey home.